Game Eve. I hope y'all ready. It is Friday, Freaky Friday, as Chico calls it. You know what, Chico? I'm gonna call it Quentin Friday. Because man, I forgot my damn shades. And I
Mm.
don't know if y'all know this, but Colorado got more average days of sunshine than the state of Florida. It's blinding out here. It is the morning run.
Colorado has more sunshine days than the state of Florida on average per
Facts.
year.
Facts.
That's something right there that a lot of people probably didn't know. So head on up to Boulder where it's colder and
But
get your
sunnier.
recruiting on and sunnier. Yes, indeed. Y'all know what it is. It's the morning run each and every weekday. If I can get it right on this wonderful Friday, it's Duke the Scoop, Big Dog Chico, Uncle Neely, right here providing you inside and in-depth coverage of the Colorado Buffaloes, Coach Prime, and everything else around sports and culture and entertainment. You understand me? What's going on, ATL in?
Man, good to be here. God is good.
All the daggone time.
Man, can't beat it.
It's a nice hat Uncle Neely's wearing right there.
Oh yeah, boy. That's a nice hat for sure.
Yeah. Y'all can go get y'all some too when you get a chance. Go to the website, check it out, unclechico.myshopify.com. And wake up, man. Let's wake up. Let's wake up. Had a great practice last night, Unc. Talk to me about practice under the lights at Folsom Field.
Yeah, the fourth time, did two night practices against Wyoming, and have done two night practices getting ready for BYU coming in. In fact, over my shoulder, this morning's walkthrough is taking place down on Folsom Field, so the guys are at practice right now. But I thought last night's practice was energetic. I thought it was locked in and focused. In fact, it was physical, and you really don't get a lot of physical practices on Thursdays going into a game day on Saturday. Coach Rob Livingston, defense coordinator, at the end of the night, everybody huddled up. He was like, "Man, I would challenge anybody, see who practices harder than we practice on a Thursday, to get locked in for a Saturday night game." But of course, the guys out there and just spiders and just going through the motion, so to speak, kind of upgraded walkthrough because you do play. There's the horn for the next drill session. And so I think Chico, the arrow is certainly pointing up energy wise. Guys are ready to get this thing going and prove that they are what you saw against Wyoming.
Mm. Would you say that? Have you heard the term BYU in reference to last year this week, or has it more been about just be the best Colorado you can be, and then and that'll take care of everything itself?
So I would be lying if I said I hadn't heard it, but I'd also be lying if I say it's all you hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it used to be, Dukes, because I think a lot of these teams realize not only does last year not matter, but just as much, even more importantly, in the modern era college football, that's not the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we, as the talking heads on programs, we have to address these teams, for the mystique and the brand that they are. But these rosters are flipping, every year by 45 to 55%. And so you don't have that much of a it's payback mode or payback time as much as it's like, no, this is the 2025 bus. That's the 2025 BYU. It is a conference game for both of us. It is on our home field at night. We're going to win it. And that's without regard to we're gonna win it because y'all beat us in Alamo Bowl. It's like no
Mm-hmm.
matter what happened in Alamo Bowl, we're working to win this game.
Right. Yeah, I would ask too. When you talk about the physicality, was there a position group that you felt like was really physical, if you had to say one, or was it just like
You,
everybody?
you mean in practice?
Yeah, in practice.
Oh no, everybody. It was Coach Prime. When he called the team up, he said this is going to be a physical practice
Mm.
because we can't afford to practice without thudding because our tackling has been poor. We got to stop reaching for our tackles and get there with our chest and wrap up and bring people down. So it was physicality across the board, not just one particular group.
Mhm.
That's a good thing right there. That shows that it's not just, one group or one position group on the team that's being physical. The whole team has bought in and locked in with that physicality. They know also, when you're playing these conference schools that they're going to come in trying to run the ball. And of course, we gave up a lot of rushing yards to Georgia Tech in Houston. So I think it's in their minds, front of their minds, not the back, that we got to come in here and we got to stop this team from running the ball like they want to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and that goes hand in hand, Chico, with time of possession. We can debate which came first, the chicken or the egg. But one of the things that happens in college football when you successfully run the ball, you end up having the ball more than the other team, and more times than not, the team who has the ball the most wins the games. Just like the team who turns it over the least wins the game, or the team that scores on special teams skews it in their advantage. There are a lot of nuances to it, but your ability to run the ball and control the clock, or your inability to stop the run and flip the clock back your way, is paramount to any victory.
Yeah. Gonna be strength on strength with these two teams. I would say Colorado's explosive play on the outside versus BYU's discipline and power type football. And you got to watch out for the misdirection and throwbacks to the tight ends after they get the run game going. They do have a true freshman quarterback. This will be probably his biggest test based off the teams that they played before, which have them as the number one scoring defense in college football right now. But there is a pathway for Colorado to win. Let's talk about some keys to victory. Dukes and Unks. Unk, what are give me three keys of victory? They say Unks out here, just so y'all know. They say Unks with an S in Hawaii.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think everybody in the world knows the number one key to victory is going to be to stop the run. That's what people have been wanting to see from Colorado. You want to see them stop the run. Two, it's really almost exactly what Uncle Neely just said. Stop the run and run the ball. That contributes to time of possession. And then I would say three, the third key to victory would just be for Kaden Salter to be himself. If he just plays his game, I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's a more dynamic quarterback than him if he plays his game. Not in the Big 12. So I'd say if he can be the best case Salt that he can be, regardless of the situation, I think those are three things that'll make sure that Colorado wins this game.
Y'all remember the movie Life?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Y'all
right.
remember? Y'all remember Hopping Bob?
Which one?
Hmm.
Hopping Bob. I'm finna be Hopping Bob. Hopping Bob ain't like Boss. I see it a little different. The Alamo Bowl matters to me.
Hmm.
Dukes asked me earlier, and I was speaking on behalf of his direct questions, what I've seen from the team, what I see in the building. That's that
Mhm.
answer. But as far as me, I want my lick back.
Hmm.
I remember playing y'all in the Alamo Bowl, and so when you asked me the three keys to victory, Chico, Hop and Bob ain't nice like Boss. I'm just gonna take it for the three phases of the game. Offensively, we played BYU in the Alamo Bowl. Man, we had 2 yards rushing.
Mm.
Now, those 2 yards rushing were direct results of QB sacks and our inability to run the ball. So offensively, the key to victory is we have to protect the quarterback and we have to run the ball. And the updated injury report was released, per conference guidelines, and it appears when you look at that list that Trackhawk and Price are
Right.
not playing.
Yeah.
But that's why you have a running back room by committee. So Dallin Hayden and Micah, it's time for them. But
Mhm.
the biggest key to those rushing successes, you got to count the QB yards in that. And if Salter ain't laying on his back, he has the vision to throw the ball or run. So we're not going to lead this game with no 2 yards rushing.
Mm.
Defensively, we got to stop the run. I think they may have had Chico like 180 or close to 200 yards rushing,
Yep.
something like that. Like we can't allow them to get that close to 200 without us also being that close to 200. I say that. And then, man, the biggest one for me, like, damn, Neely, something is bigger than those two. Yes, it is, because here's where I saw that we quote unquote lost the game. Everybody wants to identify the Alamo Bowl, how they bully balled us in the trenches, la da 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 da. And I'm not saying that that's not right. That did happen, but it was special teams that put them in the position to do that. Like we keep forgetting about that onside kick that they pulled off that nobody saw coming. Well, this year's Colorado Buff special teams unit is more prepared to not let that happen than last year's. We keep forgetting they ran a punt back for a touchdown. Now, if I don't know if y'all keeping up with it, but that's 14 damn points right there. The special teams put them in a position to get. And then they had 2 field goals, that were 50-yarders. That's what you want. But now we know we can't allow them to even be in 50-yard range. We got to play defense on the other side of the line of scrimmage because they got a Buck Buchanan over there is what I'm saying. And so
Absolutely.
50 is in their wheelhouse. We got to keep them at 55 plus, 60 plus, when it's in that fourth down time midfield. And I think all those things, I know we're going to get into actual score predictions at the end of the show, but I think all those things, this team this year, this 2025 version of the Colorado Buffs have been rebuilt, retooled, redesigned with that Alamo Bowl in mind. You got to look at your last game. We lost our last game, Alamo Bowl, just so happened to be against BYU, who's coming in here. You've done all you could do to right those wrongs. Now it's time to proof of concept, Dukes. Put it on the field and show that you've righted those wrongs.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about it. Everybody else could talk about it. Press conferences can be great. Sound clips, sound bites, all of that. But it doesn't matter until those 11 on the defensive side of the ball decide that, hey, we're going to give we're going to give people something else to talk about. It ain't going to be that. And when that decision gets made, you'll see it on the field. And I think another thing that I do want to see a little more from Colorado is going to be rallying to the ball. More, I would want to see more shirts there when somebody makes a tackle. Solo tackles are good. They're great. We talk about missed tackles, but I don't care if you missed a tackle, if you grabbed them, if you're there, if it's 5 of us there, then that missed tackle, that becomes a group tackle. That becomes an assisted tackle. So, but what I've been seeing is some of those assisted tackles have just gone into missed tackles. All right, so what movie was that? What they said? Did you at least pinch them?
Yeah.
You got to hey, listen. So I think that's gonna be important. And you take it back to fundamentals. You don't have to be a super talented team if 6 people trying to hit you every time, not 1 or 2, but if 6 people chasing you down, how can you get through them? So I go with it. I would want to see Colorado really rally to the ball this game as well.
Man, I think you hit a extra special nail on the head there, Dukes, because it's like this buzzword that's been happening the past 4 weeks about identity. Nobody worries about identity or the lack thereof when you're winning because winning is your identity. And just the same thing, you can reverse engineer that with missed tackles. If you are rallying to the ball, no one knows that the first guy missed a tackle because the second guy right there. Like that's just built into the equation of fundamentals. If we are getting 6 and 7 of our 11 over to the ball when the ball carrier is running, whether that's a receiver or a running back or a quarterback, you're not even noticing that the first guy missed his tackle because the second guy was right there and the third guy was right there and the fourth guy picked up the fumble. There's all those kind of things going to it, which is why Warren Sapp, the pass rush coordinator, he has stressed pack mentality this year that this defensive line, this defense is going to move and hunt as a pack. It's not just going to be no eyeball. It's going to be we ball. And I think you're going to see that manifested Saturday night here at Folsom Field behind me.
I think they used to call it back in the day. I don't know whether they changed the term or not, but it was called gang tackling. That's how you got to tackle, dog. And that's what I think that's what I meant by when I was saying pal. When y'all asked me what I liked about or missed about football, and I said pal, is that part, the gang tackling style, where you can go legally inflict violence on someone else and get up and walk and go to the next play. You know what I'm saying? It's like jumping somebody, but you don't have to deal with those consequences. They might come back and get you. Nah, maybe gang tackling out here and let's have fun with it. That's what I'm talking about. Now,
and down at the bottom of the pile, you somewhat invisible.
That's you. Hey, I'll say this though, when y'all asked about,
I don't know.
revenge or
Hold on, Chico. I got up. I don't know how much
okay.
of the field you can see. If any, let me know and I can adjust the camera some.
Nah, we can see it good. Let's put it on full screen. You can see the whole field down there. Nice. About right there at that angle is almost perfect. As you see the beautiful. Folsom Field right there.
So got the Mountain View, the retired names up there.
I don't know why I thought you said retired dames up there, but I got you.
Chico really just, it ain't no telling what
It's
your
early
brother
in the
like. It's
morning.
just,
Appreciate y'all
it's just,
joining us.
Well,
it's ain't no
Friday.
telling.
It's Friday morning. It's the morning run. We have you covered across the nation. Dukes the Scoop is in Atlanta, Georgia. You see Unc is right there on site, boots on the ground, Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado. I'm out here in the middle of the ocean. Got you covered from our headquarters studios in Hawaii. Appreciate y'all joining in. I saw somebody in the chat didn't know where we were located at, so I had to put that out there once again. Appreciate y'all, man. Hit the
They
like,
call him
subscribe, comment.
let him know Chico. That's his nickname. He gonna let him know now. Let him know Chico.
I like that.
Right. Makes
Let
sense.
them know. All right. Hey, let's talk about you did mention, some of the guys out. I know I'm not gonna go in depth about the injury chart, but the running backs, we will be without two running backs, and Michael Welch and Dallin Hayden will be the guys in the backfield this week. What have you seen from Dallin Hayden coming off that injury a couple weeks ago, and should be probably back full speed now?
I can go to Wyoming game, man. He played his ass off Wyoming game.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times, here's what happens in football, Chico. I'm gonna paraphrase Roger Mayweather. He said about boxing when he said most people don't know shit about boxing. Most people, when they watch football, they just watch the ball. And if you watch the ball, you're probably gonna be watching one or two people because ain't can't but one person have it at a time. And then it's somebody pursuing that person that has it. But when you look at the work that Dallin Hayden did without the ball, picking up the blitz, doing his blocking assignment, rolling out for the pass, and being that check down option, sitting there waiting. And then when he got his carries, his touches, the yards he got to catch. Now, what a lot of people do, they go to the box scores and they're only interested in who had the most yards,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then when you have a running back room by committee, you may have a guy who got less yards, but you have to go look at the situation, the game situation in which he got those yards. And I would submit to you that there are times in the box score that a 6-yard run, and that's your total, is more important than somebody that got 30 yards off of 5 carries. Because you got to look at the situation in which that 6 happened. When you got to move the chains, you got to extend the drive, you got to score. That 6 right there is important. And I think what you saw in Dallin Hayden is his willingness to stick his face in the fan with the grade off of it. To get in there. Same thing with the Michael Welch. If look, I mean, we say this kind of stuff all the time as fans when we leave a game disappointed or mad or whatever. If you think you mad Michael Welch got peanut punch, what you think Michael Welch is?
Tell you.
Like what? Like let me tell you what ain't gonna happen. Write this down. Go to mybookie.ag, do what you gotta do. Michael Welch ain't fumbling this game. You know why I know he ain't fumbling this game? Because he fumbled last game. And one thing he ain't gonna do is do some BS that he did before.
Yeah.
Like you better believe he gonna ball up on that thing. He gonna drop that head and shoulders, and he gonna bowl into that end zone. Because why? He went in toward the end zone like a days ago last time and got peanut punch right there about the 2, and a score or potential scores off the board. So
Yeah, I
I
think
like Dallin Hayden. I like Michael Welch, and I think that the way Coach Falk has built this running back room, he understands more than anybody how injuries happen in a room. And you got to have a room by committee. So I'm looking forward to those two guys, man.
Yeah. I like the fact that they have that room by committee and you have multiple running backs that can step right in there and there's no drop off.
With multiple styles.
I was about to say with multiple styles, different type of running backs. Some could be one is more power, one more finesse, one more hybrid, one more of a receiver. So you have all different ways that they can beat you out of the backfield. So I like that. I like to see the 2 back set also. I'm not sure if we'll see that this week, being that we might be down to just 2 backs. But I think that's been one of the most, efficient, productive sets that we have coming out of that 2 back set with Case.
Yeah, I'm gonna be looking forward to see if they get some receivers some touches or some guys who may not be in the running back room or only in the running back room, like a Cam Michael or maybe a Dre Miller. Like I'm gonna be interested to see, will you see some jet motion, will you see some orbit or some rocket with those guys and try to get them into space. and because that alleviates pressure off the running back room as well. So I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well said, Dukes. And you
Q6.
got the talent. You had the talent to pull that off. Whether it's Q6, whether it's Harge, whether it's Draylon Miller, whether it's Killer Cam Michael, all those guys have been in the backfield at some point in their arrival to Colorado, and so there should be a reasonable expectation of opportunity there. That when you're down in the running back room, here's some guys that know how to tote that rock. You remember that spring game, and it seems like 15 years ago, but just a couple years ago. You remember Isaiah Harge played like every damn position on offense except O
Mm-hmm.
line.
Right.
Mhm.
Like I think people forget the Swiss pocket knife that he is. So when you down, are you really down, or you just do like Duke said, you just reshuffle the deck and reassign?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now you got to think too. Now that defense, they have more to prepare for, or they're unprepared coming into the ball game for a guy like Draylon Miller in the backfield, or Isaiah Harge, or Q for six, or Michael, like you said. Now you can switch it up a little bit, be a little bit more creative as an offensive coordinator, and might just go a little bit deeper in that bag. And these,
And,
and it might not even be something that you implement in as far as the offense goes this week. It could be something you've been worked on and been had a part of your offense. It's just that we haven't reached in that bag yet and gone there yet this season. So you might see a different wrinkle, a few on the
Absolutely.
offense.
Chico from the offensive side of the ball as a former tight end at D1 level. You go into the game with a script, but that don't mean every play on that call sheet gets called because it's
Hmm.
still situational, and the situation for that particular component of the script may not manifest itself that particular game. And so you hold on to that install. It's not like you throw it away. You worked on it, you got it, the guys know it, and when the right situation occurs, I mean, I'm reminded that the Eagles in the Super Bowl when they ran Philly Special.
Hmm.
It was like the first time they ran it that year, but that wasn't the first time they practiced it that week.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
was always in their playbook. It was like, hey man, what you think? What about Philly Special? Shit, let's do
Damn, I'm like, damn, Philly special. We haven't ran that since this
it.
first couple weeks of camp.
And
Let's
then guess
do it.
what? Guess what? That means the opponent ain't expecting it because they hadn't seen it.
Exactly. But we still
Mhm.
have that back compartmentalized in the back of our head back there to reach back there and pull from it at any point during the season.
Chico, again, I always like leaning on your expertise as a former player at this level and even higher level. You got paid to play ball. When you're in these scouting meetings and you're learning what your assignments are, you ain't learning nobody's face or their last name. You learning their number. When you look up for linebacker, if number 17 is back there, this is what they typically do. If number 24 is back there, typically what they do. But guess what happens in a game like this? You look up and this is a number back there that you ain't practiced for.
Right.
Mhm.
And then you start turning your head to communicate with something like, hey, who got that call? What's this?
Yeah. That's not
Mhm.
Like, and
85.
that
That's
that
that's that's 84 back there. And now you might be scrambling, or if you haven't prepped for it. So, but one thing about BYU, they're gonna be ready for pretty much anything. They're gonna be coached well and prepped well.
absolutely,
Probably
absolutely.
not gonna catch them off guard with a lot of things other than something that they never really seen before. And I think
Well,
Colorado can present that.
one thing I do, my hats off to BYU. One thing I say about them as a program, because again, these players may change in any given year, particularly in this modern era of college football. But as a program, the things that they're good at, they do great. The things that they're average at, they do good. They don't beat themselves. And I think that
Hmm.
has a lot to do not only with what their coaches bring to the table, but they have maturity about them that is equal to or greater than their age. A lot of those guys, when you go to BYU or Utah, you go on your mission first. You see the world, you experience the things. So you're looking at in college football, they're typically 2.5 years older than their opponents, particularly down in the trenches. And so it's not just a biological 2 years, Dukes. It's a life experience 2 years. Dukes, you grew up in College Park.
Mhm.
A 15-year-old in College Park is probably 19 compared to a 15-year-old in a suburb somewhere.
Right. Right. Just it
Like
get a little different.
experience,
Right.
yeah, life experiences, man. And so not just the chronological age, but what you've done on the mission, the world you've seen, the things you've been exposed to, the discipline that takes, the character that takes. You can't say enough about the rosters they have and how they assemble them. They are very well coached, very well experienced. They're aged a little older and they're a little more mature, and all that spells we don't beat ourselves.
Mhm.
When it's 3rd and 4, we ain't jumping off sides.
Right.
Like
Right.
they don't do that.
Right. And
And
I
everything.
think it. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, even when you look at the Jake Retzloff situation, that just goes to show you, like, listen, there are a lot of teams where if you get somebody, he's playing right now for Tulane. Tulane is actually straight. So for them to say, all right, well, this just doesn't fit what we do here. Sorry, that's just it. But that's part of who BYU is. And so that goes into speaking that, discipline over production sometimes. Can you get the person who may not have he may not be the fastest, but he's going to be where I ask him to be every time we ask him to be, and he's going to be this guy on and off the field. That's what BYU brings to the table when you're playing one of those teams. And anybody who's played some high school ball or some college ball or whatever, there were always these certain teams that were so disciplined you hated to see them coming. They may run wishbone. They may do something. They may chop block. But when they did it, like all 5 linemen were attacking your ankles at the same time, almost like synchronized swimming. And I think BYU, they have some of that in their roster. Actually, they have a lot of it. That discipline and moving together is something that you can't replace, and I think that's what they do well.
And everything
Man.
sets up everything, especially coming off the run. So like Unc said before, it's about that eye discipline at the linebacker position. If you have the tight end, stay with the tight end, and throughout the whole stretch or play action, whatever, you got to stay with your man because they love to throw it back to the tight end, keep you off balance, and then keep hitting you with those jabs, aka that run game and LJ Martin, and then bam, hit you with some. That's a left hook. Wham, hit you with some here that really hurts you and build a momentum for this team. I think another key is to stop them on the 1st and 2nd downs and force them into third and long situations. Right now in the season, although they haven't faced a lot of 3rd and long situations based off who they played, they're only converting 22% of their 3rd down. So if we can force them into punt situations, get them off the field like that, win those 3rd downs, I think it'll put Colorado in position to have extra possessions on the offensive side, and that gives us a better chance to win.
I think that Chico, you just got the cheat code. It's like the PlayStation controller, X squared diamond X R1 L2, and now you can cheat because that is exactly what has to happen here. And I think that a lot of folks, when they heard Coach Prime putting the emphasis on offense on 1st and 10 and 2nd and 8, and what we have to do with the ball, they are forgetting that is being lined up against your 1 unit defense. That's
Mhm.
ones on ones practicing that. So who is it also helping? It is helping the defense learn how to stop the plays on 1st down and 2nd down to have control of the chains. And I would say to you that this week, or really since Wyoming, when he implemented that phase in practice, competition, ones on ones, is 1st and 10, is 2nd and 8. Last night and last week, did a 2-minute drill, has done like a bunch of red zone opportunity drills, and I'm getting ones versus ones. And so this is iron sharpening iron. This is not the ones, working on 2nd and 8 versus the scout team. They're doing this against the ones on defense, which is only propelling them as well and getting them prepared.
Absolutely. I think and that level of competition is something that you really have to hone in on at this time in the season. This game is just as important. Like, we talk about important games and must-win games, but you got this week, next week, the week after, like it doesn't stop like this, and that's what the Big 12 has become. So being able to get those extra reps against guys who really are guys, and I think one of the other things that it does is a Chico and Unk too. Sometimes there are gonna be some guys who haven't played LJ Martin. They're gonna see LJ Martin and they're gonna say, "Oh man, this guy's a beast. He's phenomenal." And then he's gonna get hit, and then you're gonna look around at your teammate and you're gonna say, "Hey, this ain't that bad."
Nah.
And then guys are going to start rallying. And I think that's what has to happen early. If you could get these guys in situations where you got to hit this dude early and that quarterback, make them feel it early. Pause. The earlier the better, because as you can see, when they get in the 3rd and long situations, they're not as efficient by a long shot. And when you look
Right.
at the level of competition they've played, this should be different from them. But instead, and I think it's really good that they're going one-on-ones in the season, one good on good in the season, because you got guys that are tuned up to be against some of the best that you have to offer. So what do you think that mentality is when they go up against a BYU? So I thought that was a stroke of genius because a lot of teams are scared to do it.
Yeah, you got to be scared to do it particularly when you don't have depth. Because I mean, injuries happen in practice like they happen in games, and these guys are really competing doing these one-on-one versus ones drills. Dukes, you touched on something about competition, and let me say this: y'all hear me say this all the time on the morning run. Every school that we face got 45-pound plates in their weight room and 45-pound bars. So like they are prepared and they work hard, and this is no disrespect intended to them. But we also have to admit that there are levels in college football. Winning in college football is hard, and at certain levels, it only becomes harder. And so when I look at this matchup that's coming up with BYU in, you look at Colorado ball. We are 2-2. If you go by Vegas, we beat the two teams we were supposed to beat, and we lost to the two games we were supposed to lose to. And then we know how winnable those games could have, would have, should have been. Well, say all that to say, let's look at BYU. We got to stop thinking that this is one-sided. This is about to be the toughest team they've played this season.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at a lot of their stats are skewed because they've had 3 Delawares, 3 Wyomings. They've had a non-conference, schedule thus far, to get more ready for conference play. Shout out to their schedule maker. Not dissing them at all. Not saying it's something you take for granted, but you can't sit up and look at where they may be, ranked in the nation or in this particular stat or in this particular opportunity because they've yet to face Colorado type defense or Colorado type offense with a Salter. So I think, a lot of folks like to use this term measuring stick games. This is a big measuring stick game for them. I don't care how wide the margin of victory, how narrow it is. This is going to be similar to what you're about to face the rest of the year for both of these teams.
Yeah.
And so if you can come out of here, one thing y'all done heard me say, Dukes Chico, is what Salter did to Wyoming, he didn't do it to them because it was Wyoming. He did it because he was Salter. Now, the pushback on that is going to be, yeah, Neela, but that was Wyoming. But when he does it against BYU, what's the pushback going to be?
Hello.
And so everybody that performed or overperformed against Wyoming, you got to come out and do it in this conference game because that's when you send the message, the ripple effect, not only in your own locker room, but across the conference and thereby the nation. Now, them dudes can play.
Yep. Rank number 25 coming into Folsom Field, 8:15 kickoff. Once again, late night for some people on the East Coast and Central Time, but perfect kickoff for me. Easy. 4:15.
Man, Duke's an old club. Duke's an old club promoter. Duke's just leaving the house at 10:15 when the game kicking off.
Man,
That's a fact.
getting
No,
ready.
you gotta be there. You gotta be there early. You gotta be there early if you're the promoter. You gotta be there early.
No. Duke got people under him to be there early.
Okay, well that's
Duke,
big time.
Duke's the main promoter. He the financier of the operation.
You're right.
I got to get there when the talent get there. When the talent get there, you know the guy when the talent get there, he make a big deal about it. Hey, outside, I got this. Then you got to bring everybody. Yeah, right, boom, that one. Yep. I used to pull that move.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my workers started flaking out. Last part I did, I was setting up by myself. Cause I didn't play that, man. Hey, can we get paid now, big dog? We've been here 30 minutes. Can we get all the chairs in? You know what? Here,
if you pay them early, they're gonna leave early.
Exactly. So you know what? Here, man. Go ahead.
Here you go. Well, that was me.
Go ahead.
But go ahead on. Here.
I'm not fit to deal with no headache. You asking me when you getting paid every 15 minutes, dog. I'm just trying to move the chairs in, dog. Get the speakers and stuff in. Anyways, someone asked about Cam Michael in the chat. Has he really been? We've seen him on special teams, but what about defense or offense? You think he's going to be incorporated?
I think all talent will be. It's not just a Cam thing. I think he is, reintegrated into things here. He always got that Cam smile on his face and waiting on that opportunity. One thing about injury, I don't care what level of league you're playing in. When you get back, when you're cleared to play, you still have to get in play shape, learn the playbook, all the mechanics, and work your way back in because somebody else now has that spot. But man, his speed and his talent and anywhere on the field, it's just a matter of time before he emerges.
Mm-hmm. Matter of time.
And also talked about, would this be like a get back game? And of course, these are two different teams playing, but the same, representation. So I think it's more like you're not going to get the person back that beat you up last season, but you're gonna get their cousin or their brother back. You're gonna get one of their family members on this one right here. You know what I'm saying? So y'all coming right here with the same colors on. You got to get it.
Now, I'll say again, man, whether there's the mantra of the head coach, the beat of his drum, you just don't hear a lot of talk about that. You don't hear, and when I say a lot here, you really don't hear any talk when you sit in the cafeteria like, yeah, we got to get these guys for the Alamo Bowl. It's
Nah.
more talk of, no, we got to get these guys so we can go to the Big 12 championship.
Exactly. For our reason.
Yeah.
Who cares what happened last year anyway? They could have won or
Because,
lost.
because
still
you
gotta
think
win.
about this, dog. You're one game away that you're not even in the Alamo Bowl. You're in the Big 12 championship.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's why Coach Prime said the goal here last year was get Miss Peggy to a bowl game. And he jokingly but seriously say, but I should have prayed differently. I prayed, for the vision to get us there. If I got to pray to win it. But now he'll tell you the goal is to get to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
Like,
and win it.
yeah, like that, like this I'm being clear because I'm hopping Bob. Get back, that's my world. I live I don't have no gold jacket. Like I think small. But these guys right here are not programmed or trained that way. This is not a get back game for them. This is to go 1-0 and now have 2 wins in the conference instead of having 2 losses in the conference. Because the thing is, Deuce Chico, mathematically, as much as this game is not a must-win mathematically, because somebody in the Big 12 championship is going to have 2 or 3 losses, and that will be your second, you do also understand that the harder you make September, because we're still in September, you making November damn near impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to get these math games out the way early, so you're not going to Kansas, and that's the must-win game to be in or out. Like, you want to have your spot secured before you get to the last 2 or 3 games of the season. And how do you do that? You got to win in September and October.
He ain't lying. Hey, if you're just tuning in, this is the morning run. Would you call me Unc? Let them know Chico. I gotta let them know
Chico,
right now.
because Chico gonna tell it. now Uncle pointed out, but Chico gonna tell it.
That's right. So y'all make sure y'all tell your friend to tell a friend to hit the like, subscribe, comment, and that notification bell so you can be notified once we go live each and every weekday, 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 noon, 7 a.m. Hawaii time. We'll be here and have you guys covered with the latest and the greatest. If you would like to make a bet on these games or any other game out there, hell, you could do the square bets too. Make sure you use our code TMR on mybookie.ag. Sign up. The link is in the chat right now. When you sign up, you get that $500 bet back. Unc?
Can't beat it, man. I will help you out. Here's why I'm smiling before I help out Chico. I don't know if my fam here, Deuce and Chico, we got about a 10-year age difference. And I don't know if we watched the same cartoon, Chico, but you really sounded like Snagglepuss. I had this Demergatron seafood. I was like,
They just put me on Snagglepuss, dog. God.
Hey, see, there you go, taking something as a diss. Let me put y'all on game.
Okay, put me on Snagglepuss. Put me on Snagglepuss.
Let me put y'all on
game.
Hold
up, I'm thinking about Snuffleupagus.
No, I ain't talking about Snuffleupagus. I ain't talking about that damn Snagglepuss was that lion that wore them damn cufflinks in that tie. Now, he was butt-ass naked the rest of his body, but he had cuffs on, and he had that bow tie on, and he would, exit stage right even, heavens to Murgatroyd. Man, Snagglepuss was that player.
That's what, Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chico voice went up to that Snagglepuss octave. I thought he was turning that player from the Himalayas on.
Man, I always thought Snagglepuss and Boosie Collins had like some synergy.
That's what I'm talking about, and I don't want him to take it as a diss.
Yeah.
Like what cartoon wore French cuffs, but didn't have no shirt on? That joker had on French cuffs and a tie, butt ass naked,
bucket naked. You could see his public hairs.
Yeah, he went too far there.
You can see his public hairs. Is that him right there?
That's Snagglepuss. That's Snagglepuss. Look at the cuff legs.
What a name.
And it got his collars popped up.
Pop your collar. I can mess with Snagglepuss.
What you sound like. But mybookie.ag, man, get in where you fit in. If you don't see the link, which automatically fills in the TMR code. TMR is for the morning run. Then you can type it in if you just go to mybookie.ag. Challenge everybody in the chat. Go create an account. It costs nothing to create an account. All you need is your email address and your address. Go create you an account. And then let that grow to your comfortability where you're going to fund the account. And then because starting October 1st, next Wednesday and beyond, you want to have your account up and running. Because when Duke start dropping these money making tidbits on y'all, and we ain't talking about just college football, we talk about all sports. You're gonna be like, damn, I should have had some, I should have made an account by now. Damn, I should have had some money in there. Because Duke's just dropped a bang on us. And then it's backed up by our partnership with mybookie.ag. They have 500 with it.
Yeah.
Dukes, that's free money. That's free money.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, it's getting to the time where I like to where I get to making my bets, and I like sure bets. So it's almost like we go find the right ones, and you got everything at your disposal when you got mybookie.ag. It might not just be Colorado. It could be
Oh yeah, that's the least. That's the least of it.
We might be betting on the over on New Mexico State, and who knows, but we gonna find it.
Yes, indeed. What did it say? MyBookie makes it easy. College, NFL, props, pools, all in one spot. New users bet any game up to $500, and if it misses, you get it back. Make sure you go to mybookie.com.
Unheard of.
Mybookie.ag.
Unheard of. Getting it back. Unheard of.
Getting $500 back. It's like getting them push-ups back, ain't it, Duke?
Man.
That's just not the way. That's just not the way the real world works. Dukes know the game. Dukes been out there, making his parlays and his bets for a long time in life. You talking about somebody, man, my bad, I called it wrong. Let me get that back. Get it back.
Nathaniel.
Oh yeah. Hey, Brooklyn.
But mybookie.ag with the TMR code, you get 500 back.
Hey,
free money, dog.
Brooklyn Driver said we don't need no emotional bets. Nope, I'm not. Zero. Those are my bets. No.
My bookie works in GA. It works in Hawaii too. A lot of things don't work in Hawaii as far as the bets goes, but we good to go. It's working in Florida too, so I'm good to go. I'm happy about mine. Better get yours. Yeah.
MC Breed, I heard you, Chico.
You gotta get
mine. You gotta get yours.
FINT, right?
MC Breed and Tupac. People sleep on
it. My boy Dennis, man. Shout out to Bruce.
Also, any update on the uniforms? Any insight on what uniforms they're gonna be wearing? Little sneak peek.
I tell you what, I'll know in the next hour. I haven't been down to the locker room. I came up to the rooftop.
Okay, man. All right, fellas, man. I'm traveling today, man, so I'll be reporting live from college tonight, tomorrow. But I will be back in Atlanta tomorrow night, so we can link in there. Man, I'm about to be a morning runner. I'll see y'all soon.
Hey, man, safe travels, Dukes. And as we always say, Dukes is on assignment.
That's right. Appreciate you, brethren. All right, for Unc and Chico for Dukes the Scoop, we're going to get ready to wrap this show on up, guys. Y'all make sure y'all run the chat up one time. Hit the likes, hit the subscribe, put a W in the chat for TMR. How about that?
Well, we've got to get it from Dukes before we go, but me and you can do it. And let's give our prediction and score prediction, Chico.
Predictions, yes, and score predictions. All right. You want to go first? You want me to go, Unc?
I'll knock it out. For all the reasons I articulated early in the show, our improvement on special teams as far as controlling and derailing their special teams, there's no way we're going to have 2 yards rushing. There's no way we're going to give up more than 180 rushing. Because of all those things, this is going to be a different score than you finished with down there in San Antonio. I still believe it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. But when I adjust for the improvements in our area, I'm going to take BYU down to 19, and I'm going to give Colorado 24. So I'm giving a final score prediction. Colorado Buffs wins the game in spite of Vegas, and they win it by a score of 24-19.
24-19. Nice. Okay. I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to say, just as if people are looking at Colorado's stats and based off of who they played and things like that, I think you have to do the same thing with BYU based off who they have played, and kind of skew it that way. So coming into this game with that freshman quarterback versus our veteran senior quarterback, They have a strong running game they're going to lean on. I think we're going to challenge ourselves to come in with the mindset and the attitude and the discipline to stop that run. This guy's not a super fast burner or anything like that. He can run, but if we can definitely get to him. We're fast enough to get to him. So we can stop him before he gets going, force him into third and long, put more pressure on that QB in straight drop back situations rather than third and short where he can do throwbacks and misdirections and stuff. Put him in traditional drop back situations, force him to make the plays as a true freshman. I think will be advantageous to us to get this win. And I think that we will do that with the turnovers. We're going to win the turnover battle. That freshman going to give us some. We're going to limit that run. We don't have to stop it, just contain that run. Caden Salter is going to be on point. We're going to hit downfield on some big plays to our wide receivers. So I think our explosive plays will be the difference maker in this ball game, along with the turnovers. So having said that, long-winded, I'm going to go with the 34-21 score. Wow, big win for Colorado at home. 34-21 score. Actually, you know what? I'm a take into account their field goal kick. So I'm gonna give them 24. 34-24 is the final score for the night. Colorado wins at home.
Be sure to check out Big Dog Chico's channel on Saturday night. He goes live during the game and calls the game. I will tap in with him during the early part of the third quarter, right after halftime, with Coach Prime's walk and talk, as well as Coach Prime's message to the team at halftime. But make sure tomorrow night that you're dialed in the Big Dog Chico channel for the live simulcast game commentary. No one does it better than Big Dog Chico. We'll be back Sunday night with Unc and Chico live, joined by Little Fingers and Booty Arm. And then, of course, Monday morning, the morning run is back with you for next week. That'll be a travel week as we go to TCU on next Saturday in the Dallas Metroplex. But tomorrow night is Folsom Field time with a 8:30 p.m. expected kickoff. BYU coming to town, another conference game for the Buffs, first conference game for BYU. It's the morning run, Chico. Let's get it.
Yes, indeed. Y'all make sure y'all bring y'all party supplies for the stadium to make sure it's feeling right and smelling good out there appropriately at Folsom Field, the way it should be. Understand me? All right. Unc, I appreciate you, man. And in the chat, they're asking, is your background fake? Obviously, they didn't see you move earlier. It's real in the
That is
field back
not
here.
that is not a fake background. I am up here on the terrace. Practice is over. The team is gone in. That is not a fake background. That's the flat irons above the scoreboard. This is the rooftop terrace at Folsom Field. When you
Unc,
look way in the back, Chico, like way in the back, you can see
that's
the
my house.
snow is all. You can see the
Oh,
snow has already started on those mountains.
oh, okay. Yep. Oh, I see the snow-capped mountains back there.
Yep,
So,
snow is already started back up there in the Rockies, so it'll make its way down here in October.
what
But
a
for
damn
now, it's
view.
green everywhere.
You know, Boulder is like sitting in the club with your back to the wall almost. You know, there's nothing behind you. It's like none but those beautiful mountains back there, Flatirons. It's nothing, nobody behind you. Nobody can sneak up on you, you know?
Yeah, I literally just sit there in that corner right there, Chico, that rail behind me.
That's dope. Oh, you don't even have a chair. You just that's your chair.
Yeah, I
That's
just
dope,
sit up on the
man.
thing. Because when I put a chair, you won't be able to see everything. So I had to sit up high so you
Yeah.
can see the view.
Maybe somebody said I need to change mine from the city because a lot of people don't realize that Hawaii, Honolulu is a damn city. This is a city back here. That's out the window. I just snapped a picture, you know, because I couldn't sit in front of it of the window. It wouldn't look too good. So I just snapped a picture and I used that as the background. So hey, we're connecting from Hawaii to Atlanta to Boulder, where Unc has his boots on the ground.
Where them fans at?
Where them fans at? Hey, fans, runners, get in the chat right now. Once again, put your city, your state in the chat so we'll know where you checked in from. You see the schedule right here. Y'all make sure y'all get out to a game or just support the channel. We have you covered each and every week, pre-game, post-game, during the game, all the time. Make sure y'all tune in to the morning run. Appreciate y'all. Mybookie.ag. Get you some. Don't be late. UncandChico.myshopify.com. Get you some of those too. Until next time, we're gonna be up and about of here, man. Walking off. Look at that view. Let me show her. Look at that view, dog.
Walking off on their ass like a home run.
And we out. Yeah, y'all. Walking off on their ass like a home run.